안녕하세요. Guys, it's Weds. And today we have some very big news from the developers of the First Descendant, and I am happy to share them with you. I think it's a big win for a lot of people. But you know, when it comes to changes in any game, there's going to be some people that are happy and some that may not be too happy. In any case, let's go over the changes that a lot of people have been asking for. First is the Jiggle Physics. Now, the developers call it dynamic motion. This is what a lot of people have been asking for, and they wanted this in the game, and I think the dev is going to deliver. Now, the sad news is for some people is that it is not going to be in the April update. It's not going to happen until May timeframe, but you can see they were demonstrating it and between Bunny and Serena, and I think a lot of people got a sneak peek, and they should be happy. Next is another thing I consider to be a win for new players and for a lot of people, because it is a very good thing when you see they cater to the new player, because we lost a lot of veteran players, and so now they're trying to keep what they have, and then they're trying to attract some new people. So it's a good thing what they're doing for new players. They're trying to streamline a lot of things, like trying to make the campaign a lot shorter when it comes to the missions, making it easier for the new player to navigate, even coming with a guide to show them how things work. That way they can get to the end game as soon as possible. That way they're not wasting a lot of time. And they even trying to let them have the bunny, the character, for farming in the normal mode, so they can get things done as fast as possible. I think that's a good implementation for the game, and also a big win for the new players. Next, I want to talk about quality of life, because there are some very, very good stuff in there that I think are going to make a lot of people happy. And it's a very, very big W for the game. First, the void shard removal. What this means is, now you know those void fragments that you use whenever you're going to use an amorphous material in the void reactors in any of the zone in the game. So now they're taking that off. That way you don't have to have that to actually use your amorphous material to get what you need. So that's a good change. And also, when it comes to the Arche experience, where you have to level up your Arche for your Descendant, now they are going to let you have those in the hard special operations. So now hard special operation normally designed for weapons and Descendant XP, those regular XP. Now they're going to let you have some of those experience for the Arche in those operations. Now the amount that you're going to have is going to be similar to what you would have in the 400% operations. And this means if you normally have 700 EXP for your Arche when you complete a 400% dungeon, then you're going to have this same amount when you do the hard special operation. Another quality of life is in the Sigma sector. They are going to add more XP for your weapon and your Descendant when you play the Sigma sector missions. And also, they're going to add energy control core. This is the new resource that you're going to need to use for components and reactor enhancements. That's a new system, which we're going to talk about in the next portion, but it is a good addition that you're going to play the Sigma for a lot of things now, not only for farming EXP for Arche, but also that one resource is going to come from there. That way it is something important, and you don't use this mission just for the same thing over and over. So I guess they try to make it interesting. Now, one of the bigger changes is going to be in the weapon crafting. That's a very, very huge quality of life. Now, when it comes to crafting weapons, when you craft your weapons and you already got everything ready for that weapon, and now if you want to craft another one, you have to farm the weapon over and over. So now they changed that. As an example, me personally, I have 2 Enduring Legacy. Let's say, for instance, in my 2 Enduring Legacy, I have this one right here that still needs 2 more copies. But with the new system, as soon as I craft this, then I am good to go. I don't need to have 4 more copies because I already have one that is max. Because I already have one that is max, then I won't need to do the same thing over and over. And also, for instance, when it comes to the core, what's going to happen, so if I already have core in one of my weapons, and now if I want to craft another one, then I would require to put a core in there. But with the new system, I won't have to do that. That means I will save my core for the new weapon because it is the same weapon. But if I had already done this for the weapon, then they will give me my core back. This is very good. So they're going to refund your core if you already done it for so many weapons. I know not everybody's going to have multiple weapons, but it works really well when you have multiple builds and you're trying to do different things. And that's a very, very good change because it can be quite annoying trying to get multiple copies of multiple weapons. So I think that's a big change. This is going in the right direction, in my opinion. And lastly, for quality of life, for those Serena enjoyers, myself included, if you were tired of seeing the wings when you have your Serena skin, they are going to make it so it is only visible when you are using the skills. This means if you have a very nice skin with Serena and you don't want to see the wings when you have your skin, you're only trying to see your skin, then you won't have to be worried about that because now it is only going to be visible when you are using the skills for Serena. Now, talking about quality of life, let's go and talk about one of my favorite things in this game, that is getting free stuff. And they are going to have new events with the new update in April. So on the 17th, so we're going to have some new events, and it's going to start in the 17th and it's going to end in May. And that is going to be huge because a lot of us already run out of crystallization catalysts. So they have different ways to earn them, either by daily or doing weekly challenges. So it is going to be glorious. So just make sure that you participate, that way you can get those free stuff. Next, they're going to be adding some new component sets, and that includes one for the Fire Descendants. They got one called Firebrand component set. That's going to be good for Descendants like Blair that is coming, Ultimate Blair, and also Serena and Lepic. Anything that is fire, that should give them a very good boost. And as you can see, they showed the effect for the 2-piece and also for the 4-piece. So it's going to be good. And they also have one called Shell Crusher. And that's going to be a hybrid set. That's going to be good for not only weapon, but also for skill power. They have another one called Enlightened Mage. And then this one also good for both weapon damage and also non-attribute Descendant. This is going to be good for Descendant like Valby, Eugene, and all the other Descendants that are non-attribute. So this is going to be a very good set to try for those Descendants. And lastly, they have another one called the Plague. That is going to be a very, very huge boost for Toxic Descendant. So we'll have to see how those work, but I think these are some very good additions that should actually give the Slayer set some competition. But, you know, the Slayer set still reigns supreme since the beginning of the game. Now, another very good addition that you should take notice of, and when you look at this set, you can see that they have some plus sign, minus sign, and also have some X. This is a clear indication whether a skill is additive or multiplicative then when it comes to damage scaling. So that's a very good visual for when you're working out your build, so you can see which is going to be the best option for you. Now, talking about components, they have a new system coming where you can enhance your external components as well as your reactors. Now, for external component, you know how it is hard to actually get max MP on certain components. Like for instance, the example they show you right here in the Slayer sensor, you can see that you can go all the way to the maximum with your MP. So max MP is about 159. That's the highest I've seen. So if you farm those resources that we talked about earlier in the Sigma sectors, then once you have all those resources, then you can use them to actually max out your MP or whatever or the stats that you want to max out. So it's going to take some grinding, but at least it is there for you not to stay with the lowest MP like 120 or 110. But now this is going to change. Now, when it comes to the reactor, when you have to enhance those, you are going to be able to lower the cost. For instance, on the skill cost, you can lower that cost. And for instance, for skill duration, like Shishu as an example, you can actually max this out, and that way you have more duration for your skill. So this is going to be some very, very, very good options that we're going to have in the game. Now, finally, the last thing that I want to talk about is going to be metal. They're going to have metal in the game. They are improving the void erosion, and they're also going to allow people to be placed in the top 100%, and they're going to have medals for those. And they're also going to have achievements for people that have been playing the game for a while. So something to show for your achievements in the game. And that includes doing void erosion, placing in the high, and then you can show up your medal in your title. So that's going to be very good for people that like to show off their achievements. And I know a lot of people are going to welcome this. Anyway, that is basically all we have for the dev stream. I really encourage you to watch it. I will leave a link in the description. So if you want to see more details about all the other stuff they talk about, then just click the link in the description, and that way you can watch it to the fullest. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.